We have us a pile of rotten wood, some cow manure, bags of leaves, bags of grass clippings, some goat manure, more grass clippings, and a wheelbarrow full of compost. And in this video, we're going to use Hugelkultur to grow raspberries. Hi, my name is Bob and welcome to the homestead, y'all. Today we're building a hugel bed to grow our raspberries in. Hugel beds are great to grow perennials in. If you didn't see our video earlier in the spring, that huge hugel bed we built for our flowers, it was over 5 feet wide and 30 feet long. I'll put the link in the description below. But today this bed's not going to be quite that big. I only have 8 raspberry plants that I started back in the spring from cuttings from our old raspberry bed. And I'll put the link to that description in the video if you want to see how to cultivate, to propagate your raspberries. But this bed we're going to only make about 2 feet wide, maybe 2.5 feet wide, depending on the size wood, how it lays out. And probably about 10 or 12 feet long. We have 8 raspberry plants that I'm going to plant in here. And the hugel bed will feed these plants for years to come. Of course, every fall and every spring we'll go ahead and put leaves and new fresh compost on top just to help give them new nutrients. But building a hugel bed, it just makes so much sense to me, especially if you have poor soil like we have, if you have real hard clay soil, or if you have sandy soil or rocky soil, and we have all three. We can move 10 feet and be in clay and move 10 more feet and be in pure sand just about. So hugel beds work great for that. Plus they work real good in dry, arid areas because this wood, once it gets rained on several times, it'll hold the moisture. It'll help retain the moisture in the soil and in the bed itself, and you won't have to water as much. Our flower bed that we built back in the spring, we haven't watered them at all this year. So the rains that we got, the hugel bed held that moisture and provided for those plants, and you don't have to water as much. So there's just so many advantages to building hugel beds for your perennials. You can grow just about anything from vegetables to flowers in them. So for now, what we're going to do, we're going to get started. We're going to move this wood. I'm going to put a layer of grass clippings down first. Now you can do this in any order you want. You generally want your wood on the bottom because as this wood rots, it's going to feed your plants. And another thing I like to do is put my high nitrogen, my manures, right on top of the wood also, because that helps break the wood down quicker. But for now, I'm just going to move this wood out of the way, put a thick layer of grass clippings, then we're going to put the wood down next, and then we'll layer it from there. Okay, we have our grass clippings down. We have our wood down. Now the more wood you use, the longer it's going to feed your plants. I'm going to put goat manure in here. Next we're going to put cow manure. What I'm trying to do is just get manure down between the wood, fill in the cracks, and that'll help the wood rot quicker. Now all this wood is already rotten. You don't want to use green wood on a hugel bed. It'll take it forever to break down and benefit your plants. As that wood breaks down, it'll help feed these raspberries for several years to come. Okay, got most of the cracks filled. Now this manure will help break down that wood a little bit quicker and provide the plants with plenty of food. Okay, the next thing I want to do is put more grass clippings down. Now I'm low on leaves. Normally I use probably 6 to 7 inches of leaves, but it's almost fall. It's late September. The leaves will start falling soon and I'll be bagging leaves up for next year. But I'm down to about a half a bag of leaves, and I want to save them to put on top because I don't have any wood chips to put on top. I have a few over here that I'm going to get, but I don't think I have enough to cover the top to keep the good compost from washing away when we get a few rains. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save my leaves for the top layer to put on top of the compost. I'm going to get what wood chips I have left and go ahead and put them on. I've got more wood chips composting, but it'll be next spring before those wood chips are ready. You don't want to use fresh wood chips. They're too acidic. You want them to mature for at least 6 months if you make your own wood chips, or if you have Chip Drop or one of those companies come drop you a bunch of wood chips. So since I don't have many leaves, I'm using grass clippings. They're high nitrogen, they'll break down just as good. Probably about a 4-inch layer of grass clippings. Which will work fine under the compost. It'll rot down pretty quick. Now, we'll take our compost and put on top of it. has this hugel bed finished, our raspberry plants planted, I'm going to take and put the wood chips, what few wood chips I have, I'm going to go ahead and put on them and give these things a good watering, and they should take off this fall. I like to plant perennials in the fall of the year. They do much better. Their roots will grow all winter long. You don't have to water them as much. They just seem to do a lot better. So that's why I went ahead and planted these. I'm going to be planting several different trees. We have a bunch of fruit trees that I need to get planted this fall, so I'm going to do a few of them in hugel beds and see how they do. I've never planted a fruit tree in hugel bed, but I believe I'm going to this year. Take care of that, and it's got some raspberries on it. But if you have any questions about hugel beds or planting raspberries, please leave them in comments below, and thanks for watching.